And I just wanted to bring you a third beautiful Easter card for you to use probably for next year, because again, I know this is going to be uploaded after the holidays are over. So hope you had a beautiful Easter, and I hope that this card comes in handy for you for next year, or maybe just making something beautiful for someone. All right, so this card looks something akin to like a Fabergé egg kind of situation. This card uses a printed paper and some shimmer paper and some self-adhesive rhinestones, and then some die cut flowers and leaves. So those are the things that you'll need. Plus I used the custom cutting system to cut this oval out of the center of my card, which is very simple and easy, and I will share with you how that is done. And I used some foam squares to pop these flowers up and give it some dimension. All right, so let me show you how this is put together. I'm just gonna, pardon me. Whew. I'm just gonna set a couple things to the side. So we're gonna use your largest oval in the custom cutting system and your red blade, if you have it. And you're going to take your card and open your card up so that you can see the front piece. You're also, I'm just gonna move these just slightly here. Okay, you're gonna take your custom cutting oval and set it down on your paper, roughly 3/4 of an inch from the top, 3/4 of an inch from either of your edges. There you go, that's not right. Then you're going to take your red blade, pop the base out and pop it back into the handle. Use your posts that are on here and put them right into the channel of your template. There we go. And then run that blade right around the front of your card. So you're kind of making like a peekaboo hole in the front of your card. All right, so we're just gonna take that oval and make it go away. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take and set this aside here real quick. We're going to take a printed piece of designer paper. It could be whatever pattern you like. It doesn't have to have lines involved. It can be floral. It can be whatever suits your fancy and makes you happy. Then you're going to need many of these long strips that are an 1/8 of an inch thick. And I used shimmer paper for these strips. I have, let's see, I have several. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 of them that are approximately 8 inches long. And I have, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them that are about 4.5 inches long. All right, or probably closer to 4 inches long. All right, so we're going to use these to make the cross hatching on the egg. So we're going to use our repositionable adhesive. It's going to be your best friend. And if you don't have a diagonal pattern in your paper like I do, then a ruler might come in handy for you. But because I have a diagonal pattern already in my paper, I really don't have to worry about it quite so much. So I'm just going to put some adhesive. Yeah, there we go. Put some adhesive right along my line, and I'm going to start with I'm going to go ahead and use the sight line that I have on here. I didn't actually use that when I made this other card. I just kind of put the lines on where I felt they ought to go. But you can see they ended up fairly even across, which was nice for me, then I didn't have to stress quite so much about them. When you put this next piece on, the first piece is super easy because you can really put it anywhere. But then the next pieces are going to be the ones that you want to be super careful and make sure that you have them an even distance. Sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. So because I have a pattern in my paper, it is really helpful, but just decide on how big of a distance you want. Anywhere from about 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 an inch would be appropriate, I think, for these. And the smaller your dimensions between your stripes, the more diamond shapes you're going to have on your egg. So if you want fewer diamond shapes, then just make your cross hatching wider. So make your spaces in between wider and you'll have plenty of space between. So you're just going to glue each of these on, all going the same direction at first. And I run my finger along it, not necessarily to adhere it to the paper, although that is important, but also to get off my extra adhesive because I don't want there to be lots of extra little pieces hanging around. And because the repositionable adhesive is made of little dots, then the dots just kind of rub off as I rub my hand across it. You can feel them. You can't see them really, but you can definitely feel them. Okay, I'm going to cut this long piece in half. I don't need a full long piece for this end. Just enough to go across there. I'm going to use one more long piece for the other side. And then we will put this other short piece on, and then we should be good to go ahead and do the pieces going the other direction. So when you cut, if you do have a design to your paper already, when you cut your paper to fit, make sure, I would recommend highly that you cut your paper so that your design has diamonds going vertically. Okay, so you don't want, in other words, it would be less interesting if I did it with my design completely vertical and horizontal. You want your stripes to be diagonal. And so I only need that many lines going across because I need enough that they're going to show up underneath my oval like that. Okay, so now we're going to take our shorter pieces and go ahead and adhere those. And again, I'm going to go right across that same little floral design so that my flowers show in between. If you do not have a pattern that you're following, then just make sure that the same distance that you have between each of these lines, you have between each of these lines, so that it's even. Okay. Almost done. 2 more. And then we will have more than enough on here. I think this probably has more than my sample. That's okay. All right. So again, I've wiped off all my excess. I'm kind of thinking I might need one for up here, but let's just try it. So first thing we're going to do before we proceed is we're going to go ahead and cut off our extra that's hanging off the edge. So just take your scissors and go ahead and just trim right along the edge. If it's easier for you, you can turn your paper over so you can see all the little pieces and where they hang off. Sometimes that's easier, so you're not cutting something that maybe you don't want to cut. All right, just about done with this. Okay, there we go. I'm just setting these to the side because some of those longer pieces I might need if I haven't done enough. Let's see. Oh, actually, I think I'm good. Okay, so I just want to kind of put it behind my oval and look to see, to make sure that, like I just did, like that all of my cross hatching is in the right place, that I don't need any extra lines to make my pattern complete. Now I'm going to open this very carefully and take a look at where my paper is located so I can see approximately how far in and over I am from my edges. I'm going to go ahead and take some permanent adhesive and I'm going to put it right on the edge of my card. So that I can go ahead and put this where I need it to be. You can, if you're still holding the paper in the same place it was when you opened your card, then you should be able to go ahead and close the card on top, and that will glue that paper into place. See? All right, now we get to decorate the front. So I have a couple of flowers from an old collection, embellishments from an old collection of CM. So if you've done Creative Memories for a while, you may recognize these. And I have some leaves that I punched out of a paper that is has kind of varying degrees of pigment. So there's kind of some interest to my leaves. And the way I have my flowers situated on here, I just took my leaves and I kind of set them about like so, and then I added my flowers. And this leaf went up here with a flower on it. So we can go ahead and put our leaves in place. You don't need to cover your whole embellishment with adhesive. So many times I've seen ladies go ahead and they cover every inch of everything with their adhesive. It's not necessary. You waste a lot of adhesive, and adhesive can get expensive. So you just don't need to apply that much. It is okay if something is not completely glued down. and maybe lifts up to give some dimension. That is okay. All right, I'm going to take my tweezers and we're going to go ahead and add some bling to these. Come on, get off there. So these are kind of complaining at me. Okay, so I'm going to add my rhinestones right in the joints. So right where my ribbons, my shimmer paper crisscrosses, that's where my rhinestone is going to go. And you'll notice on my sample, I did not go all the way to the edges with my rhinestones. And that's partially because I got tired of putting rhinestones on the card. But it's also because I just didn't really feel like it needed to have rhinestones all over the whole thing. So, you know, you can put as many on as you want to, whatever makes you happy, because that's what this is about. But for me, I just put some in the center because they're meant to be an accent to the card. And if it makes sense to you that they're all over the whole thing, then put them all over the whole thing. That is completely your prerogative as the maker of this piece of art. Sometimes rhinestones and I don't get along. So if you've been following my page or my channel at all, you'll know that I don't use them very often because I find them to be tedious. But I think they're pretty under the right circumstances. So we're just gonna keep plugging away at this until you have as many of them on there as you like. And because of the way that my rhinestones are designed, I'm gonna actually cut mine apart because it's easier than tearing them. Maybe I just need a different kind of rhinestone. If you know of a better kind, feel free to comment and let me know so that I don't go crazy with rhinestones that don't come off. Okay. Come on, get up there. All right, let's see, we're gonna put one right here. And I've got 4 more handy. Get some more if I want. We decide that we need more. Let's see that guy right there. I think I need one more up here at least to make that balanced. Even. We could just do one on either side. I think maybe I'm gonna go for that. We'll just put one on either side. One right here. Come on, get off. There we go. And we can put one. And trim off this extra adhesive. It's unnecessary. All right, there's another one. However you choose to put your rhinestones on, just try to make them balanced. So see, you can see that the pattern on this one is more vertical and the pattern on this one is more horizontal. It's kind of up to you how you want to do it. Okay, now we're going to use our foam squares and we're going to put some flowers on this cute little card. And figure out which or how many and where we want these to go. This one's tiny. Yeah. Okay. And just set those over there. Now I think truly, now I didn't do this on this one, but truly the best idea is to have a focal flower in the center and then accent flowers to the side. So we can do 2, do all of our big flowers here at the bottom maybe, and do a smaller one up here. I don't know if I like that because this flower up here is really tiny. Could do more of a put the lavender ones at the bottom and the pink one up here on top. I think I like that better. Or you could just leave this set of leaves off and just do your flowers across the bottom. Completely up to you how you want to do it. Just notice and be mindful of where your petals are sticking out so that your petals are not overlapping the edge of your card too much, because you don't want your petals to get bent when you go to put the card in the envelope. Okay, we are just about done with this one. Just about. There we go. Nothing says Easter like a glitzy egg, right? Beautiful. And you can adhere this a little bit more on the edges if you would like. I think I probably would add just a little bit more so that that is more sealed down the side. But be careful when you do that, that you don't put your adhesive too close to where your oval opening is located, because you don't want anyone to see that adhesive. All right. I hope you enjoyed this experience with building this Easter card, and I hope that it'll inspire you to create your own Peekaboo Easter card and for next year. So keep it in mind, and I hope you have fun creating. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.